Good evening, Kevin Henry. It's a pleasure to interview you this evening, this lovely July evening here in Chicago. And I know originally you're from Newcastle, and you've been here in Chicago for 60 years, and you knew the famous Michael Gorman. So if you would please give us a few words on Michael Gorman.
Yes, Michael Gorman was born in Scotland around the turn of the last century, and he was brought back to Ireland, to Newcastle, or a place called Cormaguller, which was known, and he spent the rest of his adolescence in Newcastle. And in common, I knew his father too. His father was a thatcher, and he went around the country. But Michael spent most of his time in Newcastle, and he started playing the music of that part of the country. And his style of music, he didn't take it from Kipping Scanlon. He took it the same as Pat Kelleher and Johnny Michael Cawley. Well, Johnny Michael Cawley had a bit of Kipping in him. But Michael Gorman told me that his influence was a man by the name of Gannon, and he came from around Shaftholder down that country. And the first time that I seen Michael Gorman, I was only a young lad. We had a fashion in Ruski School in 1941. And Michael was there with his fiddle. And there was a judge from Charlestown, and I just can't think of his name. I think we're in a minute down. But he was a very fair judge, and the competition started. There was my brother, John, Pat Kelleher, Johnny Michael Cawley, and some more I did not know, played at that competition. And at that competition, I remember it quite well, that there was three of them brought up three times for the competition. Three times the judge had to get to know who was the best player. So he was, the man that was the judge was a man by the name of Giblin from Charlestown. He originally came from Roscommon, and he was a good judge. He taught a lot of people, but he never taught Michael Gorman, because Michael Gorman was a little older. He was a little older than my brother now, so he was, since he was born around the turn of the century. My brother wasn't born until 1922. But in getting to the music end of it, and to be precise, Michael Gorman settled in a place called Carneyara, down below Sligo. He married a woman down there. I don't know what her name was, but that's not here nor there. We're talking about music, you know. And I think he had two in family. I know one brother, one son of his. I met him in Tobricurry, and he thanked me for mentioning his father's name. But going back into the history of Michael Gorman, Michael Gorman went to England during the war, and he worked on the railroad in King's Cross. And then in the 50s, early 50s, he teamed up with a woman by the name of Margaret Barry. And what happened at that particular time, the hootenanny in this country was going strong with Pete Seeger and all the great folk fiends. And Michael and Margaret started out quite doing the dance halls. a half hour at this dance hall and a half hour at this dance hall. And the first time that I met Michael Gorman was after that, was in 1960. He played in the Royal Albert Hall on St. Patrick's Night, himself and Margaret Barry. And I thought it was a great achievement that somebody from my own neck of the woods could take over the Royal Albert Hall. Well, I was back from America at that particular time, and I met him in the stores in Camden Town. And he told me that he was coming to America. And I said, well, you coming to Chicago? Yeah, I am, he said. So he came to America in 1960, and he played in a dance hall on the West Side. He played there for about 3 weeks, just the odd half hour or 45 minutes, in which he was doing in Ireland for quite a while, because he had moved to Ireland and he lived in Claremorris. But something, he had a car accident and he was put off for a while. But he started up again and he came here, and the folk fiends in this country loved him. And they loved Margaret Barry with the way she sang. Can I keep going?
Yep, of course.
And I met a man, I belonged to the Old Town School of Folk Music myself at that particular time because I got interested in it. And I met a man by the name of George Armstrong. He was one of the head people at the Old Town School. And he booked Margaret. And I was at a party one night, just in Armstrong's, up in a place called Willamette. And all the great fiends, folk fiends were singing up there, and Margaret was singing, "There's Blarney Stones in Kerry, and there's Blarney Stones in Clare, and there's Blarney Stones underneath my nose." And Michael would start with his fiddle and play like the hammer of hell, and great rhythm, great nature too was playing. And at the, what do you call that place in Newport, Rhode Island?
Yep, Newport. Yeah, Newport, Rhode Island.
Newport, Rhode Island. He got booked there for 2 seasons at the biggest folk festival in America. And he made it big. He made it bigger here than he made it in Ireland, because the people, I seen them skitting them, Margaret and himself, for the simple reason that Margaret was a street singer and he had left his wife down in Carniara. And that has happened in our culture. That has happened with all street musicians or people that went on the road trying to bring them down. But instead of that, they fostered our music, and only for Michael Gorman and Margaret Barry, O'Reilly they came in at the time. I played with Tommy Macon on 3rd Avenue before he was ever heard of. They became popular at the time through Michael Gorman and Margaret Barry. And the great folk fiends of this country loved the way she sang, for the simple reason that she had a unique type of singing, and he was a good traditional fiddle player, and he could knock sparks out of a real urging. And if you want to know anything else about Michael Gorman, he was the first man that started the folk music, not alone in England and Ireland, but in America. Nobody knew about any of these fiddle players until Michael Gorman hit the folk music in this country. And I could go on and on. Michael Gorman died in 1960. In 1970, he had ulcers. And I played with him in the quiet night, and the people loved him. And they loved Margaret too. And let nobody tell you that if you're a street singer or you left your old lady that you're no good. You are in the music field, and so was Michael Gorman. And may the Lord have mercy on his soul. And she told me that she put a marker or a stone over his grave in London. Margaret did.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
So that's the story of Michael Gorman, and
we're very lucky to have you here. You're a local music legend yourself.
well, I give him a good honour as due,
And it's yeah.
Instead of a penny looking tuppence looking down on a penny in musicians.
Yes, and he's given a lot to music, and we're really glad that you are able to pass the information down to young musicians.
That's the facts of Michael Gorman and Michael Barry. They jump-started our music.
Yes, that's right.
And if any other can come up with anything different, I'd love to hear from them.
I'm sure they won't. Well, thanks a million,
welcome,
Kevin.
you're welcome.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
very
pleasure.
good. Okay, thank you.